broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello, Witches of East End fans. Welcome to the Witches of East End season finale. AfterBuzz After Show. I'm your host, Yael Tygiel. We have a huge panel today.
Huge.
Special guests.
Huge.
We have Mädchen Amick back in the studio. And we've got Rachel Boston with us.
Hello.
And of course, you know Sam Davidson.
Hey guys, it's just me. No worries.
It's just Sam. We have so much to talk about. We had 2 huge, massive episodes.
Yes.
We're going to jump in. We're going to do them all mixed up because there was so much story that we're not going to just do one and then the other. So I want to talk about the Killian story because I think we can just get it out of the way. Killian drinks poison.
Yeah.
Killian dies.
Yeah.
Not a good move.
Not a good move.
No.
And that was pretty much, Ingrid goes to see him. She gives him root. Which root was it?
Lotus root. Ooh, lotus root.
What was in that? I was thinking about it because he had to keep dropping it into his mouth. What was in the vial?
I believe it was some form of Gatorade mixed with food dye, which was really fancy.
Yeah, Gatorade.
I tried to put a little healing spell on top of it so that wouldn't get him too sick as I continued to drop it. But that was a really interesting storyline because it came to him in a dream, and I thought it was wonderful the way they worked. Like Freya was working with him subconsciously, even though she was in a different time.
She didn't even know
period.
it.
No.
So,
She didn't even know she was communicating with him through their subconscious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we'll get into, I think, with their spirits. And
So cute.
I know you guys were very excited to hear that whole recognition thing, weren't
Yes.
you? Yes. I know.
So
It's
some
been
some
bugging
new
you.
actor came in as Edgar Allan Poe, which I'm like, oh, hey, Edgar, what's up?
Yeah.
Well, so let's talk about that now. We last week had some crazy. Well, Sam, I'm going to take credit for it, but it was all Sam who was like, "Wait, maybe only
I remember
she
I saw
recognized
that.
it." Oh, you're a genius, Sam.
Yeah.
A
And you were
genius.
super excited,
I
and
was.
bam, she was right.
She was so right that Freya sees his soul, and that Edgar wasn't Edgar. Oh my God, it was amazing.
Yeah.
It really blew my
Killian's
mind.
like way hotter than Edgar. Just saying. Just putting that out there.
I'm gonna put
He
out
did such a good job as Poe too.
Daniel.
Oh my
Daniel's
goodness.
way hotter than Killian. I'm gonna put that out there.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
Daniel's.
She has a favorite.
I do not. Maybe. So Killian dies.
he does.
He's dead for
dies.
most of the second
Full
episode.
on Shakespearean tragedy.
Was he
Yeah.
dead? I felt like he
Romeo
was
and
like
Juliet.
dead, not dead, like on the cusp.
He was coming in and out, and that's the dream, I think, when Ingrid gets that call. She knows how, once she hears that Freya was speaking to him through a dream,
And you just knew immediately. Lotus
exactly
root.
what to do.
Yeah.
That's what that
Lotus
flower
root.
means. And so it's the power of sisterhood, too. She's in the 1800s and on the other side of a time door, and I stayed there, and I was able to rush to his house.
Yeah.
I love that.
Ingrid was
So
busy.
much.
Wasn't she busy?
She was so.
It's a busy day.
She was
Running
running.
It was a
around.
really busy day.
You're so
Okay.
smart that you know
just drove
to stay
poison.
quiet.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. So good.
There were a
Yeah.
lot of things to do in that day.
Yeah.
I drank some coffee first thing in the morning, was ready to go.
I mean, there was also a lot of sisterhood in the way we defeated King Gramps, as we call him on the show.
Absolutely. Stronger together, stronger together.
Yeah. So I want to talk about how Killian comes back to life real quick, because if anybody watches Witches of East End, this show, Once Upon a Time, you know that True Love's kiss is the solution to all spells.
It was very Disney.
But it's
fairy
usually
tale,
reversed.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was the Sleeping Beauty in that scenario?
Killian.
Yeah, he was. He was a sleeping beauty.
And I will tell you, getting to witness them film that, I was a mess. I was sobbing pretty much the whole time because it was just so beautiful. And I remember after they wrapped the whole scene, I just hugged them. I was like, thank you for showing me that. I was so touched by what they did. It was really beautiful.
After you're literally like, I think I should leave.
I know, that was hilarious. I'm just going to give you a second.
Yeah,
I'll be right back.
that was
They
great.
needed the moment
They
together.
did.
Oh, they did such a beautiful job.
Well, let's talk about Ingrid's running around her errands for the day. She had to save Killian.
I had to
kind of
save my
try.
sister's true love.
Yeah, try to save him.
BRB.
BRB.
Is basically what you said.
Exactly. Hashtag BRB.
She
For
finds
now.
out. She finds out in the second finale that she's kind of preggers.
She's having a baby. It was a big day. I can't. I mean,
Either-
that's all I gotta say. It's like
Either
that
way,
was-
monster baby, that's all I have to say.
I
It's either going to be a bad warlock or it's going to be a blue monster.
Is there a choice though? Because after Dash, I'm sorry, getting ahead, but
I don't know what
either
you're
way,
talking
the
about.
father is not going to be like the greatest guy in the world.
Oh yeah.
She may have made an interesting life choice on either choice. Either way.
I don't feel like the first one was her choice.
It was not a choice.
Yeah, and
No.
this
No.
episode, I feel like, I know that when this season started and we met the Mandragora and we saw what was happening, I had a lot of questions about consent. And I feel like this episode brought that up again, not just with the Mandragora, but with Joanna.
And Tarkov.
And
I have
Tarkov.
notes here in caps. Consent! Exclamation mark!
there are.
Exclamation mark! Yeah.
Two of them.
Yeah.
Yep. There's two of them.
What my thought, because I thought it was such a powerful storyline, because at the heart of that journey with Mandragora, it's incredibly dark, yet she doesn't know what's happening to her. So when I'm playing it, it has to come from we had to commit to it.
Yeah.
It had to seem like this is something she wanted, because when she was under the spell, that's where she was drawn into the woods.
Yeah.
But I think the way that this show, I thought it was so beautifully handled that it took the entire family, it took Dash included, to actually break her away from him, and it took that much power in order to set her free. And once the spell was lifted, she was completely disconnected from his body. So I thought that was it was a powerful moment for all the family, and with the fire that Aunt Wendy discovers in the book, and that
We gave
Freya
her a really
lights.
good body massage first and then set her on fire. by the way.
I mean, it looked like very exciting and hot, but also a little scary.
The first time we see him, I was disgustedly terrified and felt violated.
With Mandragora.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His tentacles went everywhere.
Everywhere.
All over.
I feel like I had this conversation with you at Comic-Con about where his tentacles may or may not have gone.
They may or may not have been.
Like, which one was it, or was it all of them?
I think
or
there were a lot of them.
But did they all impregnate?
impregnate you. Like,
That-
are you having 10 babies?
That's still, I wasn't conscious for that. I don't actually have the answer.
I think that's
for
more
you there.
tentacle. That's more of like an octopus thing.
Yeah. It was something.
But
But it only took a kitchen knife to kill him.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Right.
I
And
couldn't figure out how to kill him, but it just took a kitchen knife.
yeah, Joanna had to call in her ex-girlfriend,
Yeah.
and all we needed was a kitchen knife.
That's all we need. Sometimes it's the simplest thing.
It
Yeah.
can be.
It's like a lesbian with a kitchen knife. That's all you need.
Lesbian with it. Yeah.
But
That's
what
a
was
solution.
interesting though too is that it brought in that whole, it was a much more dangerous way to start, I think, season 2, because the portal had been open and we didn't know what had come through. And so to have a monster, you don't know what else is coming. Else is coming from this other world?
I just think that the way that the Witches of East End started this season, the first season got notoriety in people by people that watch shows like these. And I loved shows like these, you know, Charmed, Buffy, all of those shows.
Sabrina, Bewitched.
So, I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm Samantha. I was born when my mother first kicked, when she saw Samantha on Bewitched.
Yeah.
These are my kind of shows, but this show took it on this in the second season to a whole new level, a brilliant new level.
Yeah.
And I'm so fascinated by it, and I love it. I really hope that it continue, and it will. Of course, it will. Will
Yeah.
continue.
It will. We're not even, it's not a question. There's,
Knock on.
on season 3.
I do that too, Mädchen.
So, Ingrid, in addition to assisting Killian, trying to live. Sorry, it's just he dies. So she goes to Dash because they need the journals.
Yes.
And they do the quick little spell, they get the journals, and Dash reads the journals.
Which is
He's
unacceptable.
not supposed to. He's not supposed to. He promised he wasn't.
He should be punished. We should call Raven in, and we will talk about Raven. He should be punished. But luckily, we need what's in his brain.
Exactly.
And Frederick, who I still, even though he's dead, I don't trust him.
Come on, the man's dead. Love him like I do.
Look, Christian Cook, right? Christian Cook. He is more than welcome on the show.
Yes.
Frederick, on the other hand,
He was very conflicted.
Yeah.
Very conflicted the whole time. He just was right in that fence. He didn't know what side to go on.
But if
all
you've
the way
been
to
in
the
another
end.
world with people like a Mandragora, I mean, that's from where we come from. Like the darkness of that. I think what's happened to Asgard since we've been gone and since we were banished.
But he really wanted to believe that we could come back and be a family together. He was buying that line that the father, because he really did want it. But then he was just sort of like, not that Christian was a dumb guy, but that he was like sort of a dumb soldier, and he was following out the plans, and
So
he just, poor guy.
I guess by the end, my trust wasn't that he was a bad guy. It was that he was too naive
Yeah.
to know
Yeah.
any better. Because in the first half of the season finale, he's still on King Gramps' side. And then by the end, he comes to his effing senses.
He tried to take Gramps out. He did.
He failed miserably and gets himself stabbed.
I saw.
You know.
I saw the knife go in.
He's
That
lucky
was
he made it out
intense.
alive.
Ingrid did a good job of not looking at him while he was sneaking up behind Grandpa.
I was impressed.
I was like, don't give it away. Don't give it away. And she didn't.
Didn't blink.
Yeah.
No,
I thought she was
stayed
good.
right there.
She just, yeah.
Nope. I saw it. I
upon her
trusted.
sights.
I felt that with my own intuition. I said, he's on my side right now.
Yeah.
He will not kill this baby. We're protected.
It's a lot of trust.
There was a baby.
I know.
this
There
point,
is a
man.
baby.
King Gramps knew that Ingrid was pregnant from the
It's like
moment
he
saw
smelled
her.
it.
Gross.
He sees things, and I think that's the connection.
Or, I'm sorry, seed. Saw. Not seed. Seed would be something stupid. Saw would be something intelligent.
Okay.
He saw
He saw. He
that
sees.
you were pregnant. Thank you. We're going to make it a new thing.
Do we need to leave?
Yeah. Do you guys need a moment?
Should we give you a moment?
We can't decide.
So Frederick helps by reading Dash's mind. And Ingrid, who loses her powers to King Gramps, is which was cool.
Yeah.
What language was he speaking?
Old Norse.
Old Norse.
Like real Old Norse?
I
That's like a
believe
thing?
so. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like old, Norwegian, Nordic stuff.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I did not know.
He did it with that accent. Pretty cool.
It was beautiful. I like every time he does it. Really, anything he does is beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put that out there. You can pass that message along.
It was fun translating
Yeah.
that too. I think because Ingrid is so, she's so knowledgeable about the past and where witches come from. And I think by studying Old Norse in the library and being that passionate about the language to finally see how it worked and how it did.
And why you
come
were so
through.
passionate. You didn't even know why you were so passionate
Yeah.
about all that
Yeah.
stuff. It's pretty good. Came in
And
handy.
it came full circle. I actually have a note here that Ingrid is still brilliant without having powers. Even though she was brilliant before, but like she was meant to do this. And even if she doesn't have powers, she's a very good helper to the rest of the witches.
Yeah.
Which I think is amazing. And she the fact that Ingrid knew everything, she could just so naturally, translate everything.
There might be an interesting message in that of getting your powers later in life and not having them for the beginning, because she developed such specific survival skills in the library and how she understands this world on a deeper level than if her mother and Aunt Wendy had told her
So
when she was born. She didn't have that to fall back on.
do you think that this life, perhaps because a lot of your past lives, Ingrid's past lives, I'm sorry, have, she's been evil. And
She has.
so perhaps is this past or this real life something that now that she knows that she's a witch that she can manage better?
I believe, I think it was an interesting moment in season 2 where she puts together Archibald and Dash, and that there's a pattern. And that when I was in a relationship with Archibald in the 1900s, we killed someone and covered it up. And then with Dash, who's his grandson, we did the exact same thing. And so I think she's piecing together that things in her life are repeating. And I'm sure they were repeating long before she found out she was a witch. And just being drawn academically, the power of my mind and being able to create and write spells would make sense that the library is the right place for her. So I think she's starting to see, I think all of our lives add up to what make us.
But you know what I love too about like the girls always being coming back to life over and over again? It kind of speaks to the theories of reincarnation, and that each time you get that much more wiser, and you have to go through something new every life. Yeah. So as the girls keep becoming reborn, every time they get a little bit smarter and smarter.
Yeah. And she didn't die this time. Like with Archibald, she ran away and ended up like that was the end.
Yeah.
She's learning. Remind me who killed her? Who killed her in that one?
I to the right. To the right.
Who was that?
I don't remember. Move on.
Anyway, so we learn a little bit about Dash's history because we know that Frederick has told us that Killian was in Asgard. Dash was in Asgard.
Yes.
King Gramps knows him as Bastian. What? I want to know more about that. I want that story.
I know.
Okay.
Season 3.
I'm so sorry to interject on this though, but I thought it was a spirit thing.
That
the spirit
that
was in Asgard?
You could recognize them. I really wanted to touch upon this with you guys. Is that like when Freya saw Edgar Allan Poe, she saw Killian. But otherwise, everyone else saw him as something different.
Yeah.
Is that every life, or was it just Edgar Allan Poe?
Every life.
I think it was
they're in
with
a different body.
Yeah, they're in a different body. Like
she saw him in
same
the
spirit,
the
different
70s?
body.
Yeah, in the 70s, but she's the only one that knows.
I think King Gramps also knows because he's all powerful.
But Frederick knows because he recognized Killian at the bar.
That's what I think of too, and I think
But
of
I
King
also
Gramps.
think too that Frederick and King Gramps, which I love you giving him that name.
He's king and he's Gramps.
Fantastic. We should have called him that.
They're fresh from Asgard, so they have all that extra power.
Okay.
So they're able to, they're sort of fresh.
All right.
We're a bit more humanized at this point.
We're very weak here.
We're losing our
On Earth.
magic.
Not Asgard.
You got to
Sorry,
really
guys.
plug in
Yeah.
when you're on Earth and you're a witch.
Yeah.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about Raven, who
I don't.
Me either.
I love her.
I'm just kidding.
She's a witch hunter.
She took my
Why do we
man.
want to talk about witch hunters?
Oh my God! Thank you. I agree. She is a witch
Okay,
hunter.
but here's why.
She's not worth our breath.
No, here's
I
why.
love her, by the way. Sarah
Oh,
Lancaster
yeah, she's
is
amazing.
fantastic.
I like Raven.
We talked about this last week. She is so oh my God. Okay, so she confronts Dash in this episode too. Whew. She confronts Dash and she's like, I know what you did and blah, blah, blah. And, all this stuff. And he goes, go upstairs and take off your clothing. Yeah, and she does. I love her. I've never related more to a character.
Do you think that she's...
Interesting.
Do you think
I like
that
it.
she's torn, like she's enjoying...
Oh, yeah.
Like she went into it to sort of trick him and get in, and then now she's kind of getting caught up in it? Or is she just full-on cold-blooded?
Oh, I think she's cold-blooded. And that's why
I mean,
I love
I think
her.
like she's gonna get into both. I think that she likes Dash, and things are gonna start to happen. However, there are too many evidence things and person, ending up in the bodies of water.
Dash pulled out that guy's teeth, and they still got a DNA test. Thing. He went down there and had to just yank it all out,
And
just
they
still
they
to
were
be
like,
caught.
oh, we have his teeth, so we don't have to do DNA. And I was like, why wouldn't you guys just do DNA? That was stupid of you people.
Dash
But
is
it gave a really good gross scene for us to watch.
Not gonna try to go too much in the future, but Dash is not a great guy.
We'll get there.
He's conflicted.
All right.
I just want to say, I think Raven's going to do what Frederick did, where he comes with the intentions of doing this one thing and ends up loving or falling for or feeling emotions for, and then switch
What if
sides.
she's pregnant?
Yeah, she'll die.
She's not.
No? Okay.
No.
That was just a lot.
No.
Well, before we get into the past, before we move on to the past, I want to take a moment to thank our fans, our listeners, our watchers, our downloaders. Clearly, we love this show. Clearly, we love these ladies here, and we're doing this for you. We got them here for you guys.
Yeah.
They're here for you. So thank you. All we ask is that you rate and review us on iTunes. If you like us, give us 5 stars. If you don't like us, give us 4 stars. Leave comments on YouTube. Tweet
5 stars.
at us.
5
Yeah,
stars.
5 stars.
5 stars.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I would go on, but I really want to talk about the past. So, oh my goodness. Okay, so
Yeah, it's a lot.
Portals. Oh, portals.
Yeah, so we've got the box. Oh, you called it something great. It was the Soul Sucky box.
Soul sucky box
The
thing.
Soul Sucky box thing, and that's exactly what it is.
Yes.
We've got it, but we see Tarkov, and somebody loses the key to the door.
It's what did I lose it or did it jump out of my pocket?
I believe
just
it
want
jumped
to
out of
know.
your pocket.
Yeah,
Right? It's a
definitely
magic
jumped
key,
out.
I'm sure.
Keys are
Like
so easy to lose in the
easy to
1800s.
lose.
They have minds of their own.
Giant
What
keys.
are you gonna do about it?
like
Here's my
sleeping in a
theory.
barn.
Here's my theory.
Yeah.
Because we saw where Wendy in the past put the key. So my theory is that Wendy in the present also put the key in the same place where we ladies put our keys, and it slipped out.
Oh.
Because that happens.
Well, but see, in the past, Wendy's bustier section was a lot more welcoming of a key.
Right.
I don't think the modern Wendy had as much
Morals.
Which is why it
Many.
slipped out.
plethorage.
It slipped out because it
got
wasn't
it.
all squished
I
together.
was so used to it, and
Yeah.
then it just...
Oh,
that's
yes.
Well,
That
wait,
would be confusing.
I'm sorry.
if
Do
back in the 1800s
do your
you were-
lives like mean your boobs get smaller?
No, in the
No,
in
just
the
they
past it was all
It was
corseted.
corseted and...
And so there was like
Those
pockets.
corsets
moved
are
up.
extraordinary,
that's not
too.
fair.
Can we talk about how
That's not
great
fair.
you looked in that corset?
It was a half hour getting in and about a half hour getting out every
You
day.
should never get out. It was so good.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, I thought the costume designer on
Yeah,
the
she did
1800s did.
amazing.
Your costume designer on the show.
Yeah, she
She's
just did
amazing.
everything
Amazing.
amazing.
The whole costume designer, I mean, everything like the special effects,
Yeah.
especially on this finale, it was awesome. If people that watch the other networks would have seen this, and I don't think they do because it's Lifetime, but I love Lifetime, and it's phenomenal what they did to this
Yeah.
show. It's so phenomenal.
I think they do see it though. Maybe they're used to tuning in and watching other shows that are competing, time slot. But our DVRs and our streaming and our international numbers are like crazy.
I know.
They're huge.
And
I believe
Netflix
it.
now.
So it's just sort of like the way people watch things now. Unfortunately, you know, they don't really sit down.
Well,
and
it's
TV
brilliant
much
that
anymore.
Netflix started streaming the first season because
Yeah.
when I started watching this series right when it started, and I was obsessed. I loved it, and I got people to start watching it.
Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. But basically the networking that happened, and the billboards, the posters, everything. You guys are freaking fabulous. It's an amazing cast. I couldn't even be more excited that you guys are here.
She's fangirling. She needs a deep breath.
I know. Okay, thank
very
you.
kind.
I think you're welcome. Okay.
I think the hope is because it is a show that is you have to follow it really to get the heart of. I mean, you can obviously tune into an episode and know what's going on with the recaps, but the hope is that people will find it on Netflix and streaming, and the audience will continue to grow. So
Yeah.
we're hoping that season 1 built up such a great energy to it, and then season 2 is taking it to a darker level, and then we're just all
wondering what
casting
season 3
spells.
will bring.
That for season 3, there's just so many opportunities to take the heart and add in this darker Asgard universe that we've explored in season 2.
Asgard. Yeah.
We need to go to Asgard, don't you
Yeah.
think?
Absolutely.
There
Can we
are.
take a time travel elevator there right now?
Why do we need a
Time
door?
traveling.
You just have to find a portal. You don't
Giant
have to.
blue portals to fly through.
You just have to figure out where
Well,
they are.
so I want to ask this question. So Tarkov is in the past. He found his own way to the past.
Yeah.
And he told Joanna in her stupor, I'm going to call it that, because I am heartbroken by what it is.
It's terrible.
It's
gut-wrenching.
It's really
horrible.
Yeah.
It was disgusting, and that bothers me because I love James so much.
I know.
He's amazing. And so it like disgusted me
I know.
to see him be that disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's taken down the family. He
Yeah.
hung us up and then took Mom too. It was, this is not a good. It's not a good man.
But so he gets left in the past. But he found his own way there and claims to Joanna that he has his own way out. So might we not have seen the last of him?
I think not.
I think we might see more.
Confirm, deny, exclusive?
Don't know.
If
All right, it was worth a
he
try.
has no clue. There's
I
another
know
door.
that we all love him and everybody else loves him. Writers,
Yeah.
directors,
He's
producers.
incredibly talented.
So they tried to kill him a few times and they just were like, we can't. He's got it. He's
Good.
so good. So, that's
I would like to see him be less evil.
evil.
I did not enjoy watching my voice come out of his lips when he had me down on the ground and Freya came in. That was intense.
That's gotta be weird.
You've
took
had
my
like a lot
voice?
of people come out of your voices.
He took my voice.
Like you've been possessed several times.
And then Freya was possessed.
Yeah.
Being a witch is complicated business.
Hashtag witch problems.
It's big days. It's like a few lifetimes in a few hours.
Don't you think that Joanna should have played along a little bit with Tarkov, and when he was like, I
what
just
way?
want to be with you, and she could have just been like, yeah, and then kind of tricked him.
Killed
Every
him.
time she just was like,
The
nope,
thing
buddy,
is,
it's not happening.
It's because, and I thought of that, but we know that he is such a strong psychic
Oh, that he would know.
that he would have figured out.
true.
Although
That's
we
true.
do find out he can't read cat minds
That's right.
because we saw you kick his ass.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Naked.
Yeah, naked. That's how
Naked.
you kick ass.
Yeah, that's the only way that you can swing a bat. Is
I
naked.
agree. It's the best way to kick ass is naked.
Absolutely. Don't you think though that if you really like went to attack somebody, that if you're just naked, you'd just completely distract them, and it would be very successful?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
That is a good message to put out for anyone in
I
danger.
agree. I agree. Distract them.
Just
No one
attacking me,
under the
just
age of
distract-
18 is watching.
No.
I'm just kidding. But I'm kind of not at all.
That has always been my plan.
I just.
That's always been my plan. And if I were ever
Don't
attacked.
try this at home, kids. Don't try this at home.
Well, so we find the key. You got a little close with Daniel. Poe.
I know.
Let's talk about that.
Okay.
How was
You want the
that?
play-by-play?
I do. Oh, I do. 'Cause
Yeah.
he was frisky.
He got frisky. He went for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was super excited. He was like, yeah, I get to hit on Wendy.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And so we get the key. And I love there's Wendy and Freya send a message to
Yeah.
the future. They steal a page out of Back to the Future 3's book.
That is one of the coolest things, by
Yeah.
the way, I've seen on TV in about
Gotta
10
play-
years.
You gotta pay homage to all of your favorite stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
It was
When he
so
came
great.
to the door, it was so cool. He was like, I'm sorry, Ingrid Beauchamp. I don't know
That's-
him.
Yeah. But he knows you because you guys had
does.
just
I've been
met.
waiting for this for 126 years.
66.
66.
Girl, get your numbers right.
166 years.
66.
166
40
years.
years off. 66 years.
Yeah.
That was a very slow text. It just took a long time to upload.
Yeah. He didn't have Verizon.
Not back then, no.
Can you hear me now? So Ingrid, with help from Frederick and Dash, bring back the ladies, although we lose the soul sucky box thing.
Yeah.
It explodes. I think, I'm going to throw it out there, because it explodes and we saw some evil spirits come out, I think they changed the past. I think some spirits have been let out in the past, and they changed the past. If we're playing with time travel, we're playing with time travel.
Okay, but hold on. It exploded and the demon came out of the box. And remember, Tarkov's face was right there when it exploded. So maybe the demon went into Tarkov. Then Tarkov will come back to the future. And then we didn't really technically change the past.
We just
now we have a
Tarkov
demonic
in the present.
Oh, nice.
So what is Tarkov in the present supposed to be like?
I think Tarkov in the future. We're going to meet him next
And
season.
it hit a bird, too, and Tarkov brings the bird back with him. I think that definitely.
That would alter it, wouldn't it?
Not
depends
enough to,
Okay.
totally shift it, because that bird only was living for 3 more days
But what
anyway.
if Ambrose was in the bird?
Not his fault.
Isn't Ambrose the demon that was in Freya?
Yeah.
Yes.
What if Ambrose in the bird?
It's possible.
That's going to be a mess.
We'll
that
find
bird's
that out
gonna
in
go around
season
murdering
3.
people for being
It's going to be a
sinners.
crazy bird. That's season 3. That's actually the whole campaign. Crazy bird.
Crazy bird.
Well, we finally get all the girls together. I love that Frederick is... No, he's good now. We trust him. Do we?
I have
He
always
did say
trusted
he
him.
tried to save me.
He
So
did. And I
So-
loved what you said to him when you were like, "You're my." He was
You're
like,
still
"You
my
trust me now,"
brother.
and you're like, "Yeah, you're still my brother."
Remember when he saved her? Whatever.
I mean, that was like an aunt thing, you know. It's different.
And he is family. I mean, however you look at it, he knows who you are. He knows where you come from. And in this world, there's very few people to confide in. So I do think he doesn't want to harm. I think once he meets our family, he doesn't want to harm us. And once I see him go after grandfather and put his life at risk to protect me, I think there is and he did the translation too. He came with me, and I told him we're finding a dark spell to stop a dark warlock. So that is dedication.
Fine.
Yeah.
Well, sadly or luckily, depending on what side you're on, Frederick dies.
Yeah.
He does.
And it says death to witches,
Yeah.
and we see some shoes.
And that's not okay.
I'm going to go with Raven.
Yep.
I think
Sam?
that's pretty safe.
Okay. Well, listen to what I did
I know
today.
she has a lot to say.
I had a day today in which I had a lot of free time.
Oh.
And I am.
That's dangerous.
I rewinded my DVR to watch Raven's shoes.
Yeah.
That's what I tried. And I couldn't really get her shoes in the beginning of the episode. And then in the end, when it said witches, whatever, die, I saw the shoes. I think they're very Raven.
They seem very Raven.
Yeah.
With the black suit
The
bottom.
only problem I have is when she had sex with Dash in the episode, one of the 2 episodes, she's wearing, we see the shoes thrown on the floor, and they're like strappy sandal heels.
Not like she doesn't wear different shoes, different
I'm
days.
just saying. They don't.
She had her kind of kick. Can I? Maybe I can't
You
say
can.
that.
No.
Kick-ass boots on that
I already
day.
said ass like 3 times today.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
All
say
right,
yes.
fine.
I won't say it, just so I'm
I
Say
did.
it.
different.
I said it.
No, there's 3 that have. I'll keep us safe.
Okay. Well, so we have the ladies through the portal. Frederick, whatever happens to him. And we find out we don't need him to kill King Gramps, which he looked so heartbroken. And I was like, whatever, you deserve it.
Well, what was it? It was the key.
The Traveler, the Dagger, and the bridge.
The bridge, the dagger.
Oh, I wrote it down.
That was amazing. I love that.
Key, the traveler, the bridge, the dagger.
I
We don't
love-
need you, Frederick.
Yeah, no.
It's only girls.
Yeah.
It's only girls. Girls Club.
What do we need? We need a show about kick-ass witches, and they're all kick-ass females.
We are kick-ass. I'll use it for
Yay!
that. Witches, for sure. Kick-ass witches, absolutely.
She's come to the dark side.
Sorry, but we're not sorry.
That was an extraordinary moment, I think, for us too. And also because we were saving Aunt Wendy. So there's even a deeper level of this group has to band together and figure out how we can stop this man. I mean, there's no turning back now. We are going to do whatever it takes.
Well, before we get into taking down King Gramps, I want to talk about his heartbreaking conversation with Wendy, where she is his least favorite daughter,
You know.
That's not okay.
and how he says he doesn't want to let her have kids because she used to lose her dolls.
Yeah, I mean,
Have you met children?
like, that's
our reason?
That's the reason?
Yeah.
That's what made you decide that I was not going to be
Makes
a good
you
mom?
think, doesn't it? Like, did I ever lose my doll?
I lost all my dolls. We were kids. I used to leave my purse when it had money in it in restaurants.
Even if you do
As a kid.
lose your dolls, you don't tell your daughter. That's just, that's how you know he's over the top evil.
He was not nice at all.
No.
King Gramps was very mean.
Yeah.
Very mean.
He threw me against a wall, Aunt Wendy.
I know.
I commiserate. It's not
that
okay.
wall is dangerous, by the way.
That wall specifically?
I got grabbed by
In the
that wall
house?
too. Yeah.
You're like, I
We
need to
should
go to
repaint
chiropractor.
that wall before season 3. We need some
we need to put
sage.
some furniture in front of it.
Where is the set of your house?
It's on a soundstage.
In
Vancouver.
Oh,
We
okay.
shoot in Canada.
Canada.
So we can't just like drive over and visit your house.
You can fly up and visit our house.
Okay.
Okay. All right, I'll be
Problem
there.
solved.
We'll have
I
you
just
on set.
wanted
You
to
can
make sure it was-
definitely.
It's noted. It's on air.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, it's such a, Rachel, who is our set designer, Rachel.
You
O'Toole.
made the house.
Yes, I'm also
Yeah.
the set designer.
She's busy.
Yeah.
She's really busy.
I'm saving Killian, protecting us from Grandpa, and doing
Yeah.
all the sets. It's weird. I do props sometimes.
Oh.
No, never. But it's such a beautiful home for our family. Like, you walk in and you really do feel it's so lived in.
It
and
feels
there's-
good. Yeah.
There's so many little mythical elements just from the bookshelf. I mean, you pull a book out and it is on magic. Like, it's so true to how these women would live. It's really wonderful.
She puts trinkets everywhere and feathers and little gems.
She's
and
amazing.
I want to live in this
It's
Do you guys
house.
have your
It's
own little
amazing.
Incredible.
houses in the area you guys are shooting?
In first season, we all actually lived pretty close to each other, like walking.
downtown-ish.
And so
I stayed downtown this time.
on weekends, we would go to Aunt Wendy's during first season to watch the shows
We watch
together.
every show together.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is so
We
cute.
love it. We're excited.
We have screening parties at different houses, but people will put it together.
First season, Rachel and I ran around Stanley Park. We jogged quite often. And I had to just try to keep up.
But she does the squat circuit training, so we had like a whole
That's true.
Aunt Wendy
I slowed her down.
and
Slowed her down.
Ingrid.
I was like, okay, we're running to that bench, and then I'm going to make you do push-ups and sit-ups. And
That's the energy of our group, and we did that before our first promo. Like, we ran 6 miles, and then we did, and it bonded
true.
us.
Same time.
And then we went through all kinds of scenarios together, and then we'd run it off. Shake it off, shake it off.
Yeah.
Like Taylor Swift says,
Well, I want to talk about we meet the key, the traveler, the dagger, and the bridge, and we don't. I think Rachel, your character even says, I don't know what it means, but that's who you are and that's what's happening. Are you hoping we get answers about that next season, or do you know what it means?
Well, I did find it in the library.
Right.
In the second episode of season 2, I discover these photos, and it's us. It's the Beauchamp family, and it has all. I don't know exactly what that means, though, but I do think what Ingrid pieces together through the Old Norse spell that Frederick actually got out of Dash as well, was that it takes these 4 women and these 4 different powers to stop an evil force and to stop Grandfather.
and that fifth,
And
the
the
mysterious sister.
Well, we know
She was in
she's
that, too.
There, but how did we stopped him? Our 4 powers together, though, were
Because
enough.
she's
her
so
spirit's coming out.
Elena.
let's
Helena.
She was being summoned.
let's get to
Helena.
okay. So we save Wendy,
Yeah.
and we kill King Gramps,
Yeah. Victorious.
and we
No.
No,
see
what
Tommy.
you did was so great. I mean, what Aunt Wendy did
Yeah.
was a very beautiful thing. Like, we should at least acknowledge it. What she did.
I'm sad. I can't acknowledge that it was beautiful. I was sad.
I was too, and when he woke up, he thought you were alive, and then you weren't, and then him and Joanna. It was very sad.
Yeah.
It's the opposite of true love's kiss.
It was.
Yeah.
It's the polar opposite.
Really
But
heartbreaking.
we see that Wendy's soul is in the fiery lake of hell
Yeah.
with her sister,
Yeah.
who I'm going to say it, we're going to get to meet her full-fledged season 3.
I think so.
And I think, I'm going to say it, by halfway through the next season, Wendy's back out in the real world. I'm saying it. That's happening.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll find a way.
You're the best. We love you. You're one of our favorite characters.
Well, it's farther than Wendy has ever gone before, because she always goes to the river Styx every time she dies and comes back. That's why she was like, "Where am I?" She didn't recognize it because she
Like
hadn't
a bad
gone that far.
massage. Like, where am I?
Where am I?
Well, the last thing we have to talk about is Dash gets arrested
Yes.
for, murder.
Murdering people.
Yeah. Well, he's actually arrested for destruction of evidence because he wipes his hard drive, which, if the hard drive is wiped, it's not really destruction of evidence because you don't have the evidence. But whatever.
You're getting technical.
I'm getting technical. He gets arrested. Killian is alive because of True Love's kiss, and he goes to see him, and Dash, that D, switches souls. They body switch, and he takes Killian's body.
How many times have I told you that Dash was bad?
Put your hand down. Young lady, put your hand down.
I know. It's his eyes. It just draws you in, though.
They're so pretty.
That's what happened to Killian, too. Killian and I are now the same.
Poor Killian, a.k.a. Edgar Allan Poe, a.k.a. who God knows what.
Yeah.
Other big figure he was.
So as soon as he walks out and sees Freya, my first thought was, she's going to figure it out.
Yeah.
But he used dark magic.
He used dark magic.
He used the spells that were in that book.
So it's cloaked for now.
Yeah.
I am assuming it won't last.
Right. Well,
If there's music in our headphones, does that mean we're almost
we're done.
out of time?
We're out of time, guys. Thank you
It's a
so
2-hour
much.
finale. You
This-
need 2 hours to recap
I
it.
know.
It was so wonderful to be able to talk
Thank
about
you.
this journey with you. Thank
you
you for
so
your
much.
support of this
thank you
season
for
too.
your
It means
support.
so much to all of us.
Rachel, can you tell the people at home where they can find you online, like Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff?
Yes, I am at Rachel Boston, and when we hashtag for the show, we do hashtag Witches of East End.
Awesome.
But at Rachel Boston.
On both Twitter and Instagram.
Yes.
Awesome. Sam.
You can find me at SamD43 on Instagram and Twitter.
Awesome. Mädchen.
On Twitter, I'm at Aunt Wendy the Cat. And on Instagram and Facebook, just Mädchen Amick.
Awesome. And of course, you can find me online at yael.tv. That's YAEL.tv. There you'll find information about the beautiful stylings from Siren's Boudoir. You can also find me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Google Plus at Yael Tygiel. That's YAEL-TYGIEL. And we will see you for season 3 of Witches of East End.
Season
We'll
3.
be back.
Keep
We'll be back.
manifesting.
Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Bye. See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.